Hello, this is Marie Manucherry. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Please like and subscribe below. Today, I wanted to talk to you about a topic I have covered before, but I thought I would go into a slightly different way of understanding. And this is the topic of wealth. And I'm going to do my very best not to use a word that most people are highly triggered when they're thinking about finances, and that's the word money. And that has been one of my recommendations in a previous video. Please don't use the word money until you can have a beautiful, phenomenal, consistent vibration about wealth. So as I've spoken before on this topic, it's important that wherever you keep your money, the bank, your wallet, closet drawer, safe, wherever you have your resources, other people's places, like retirement funds and things of that nature, it's going to be very important that you start to see how beautiful, how handsome, how interesting, how fascinating wealth is. And that means I even want you to look at the institutions where your wealth is collecting, hopefully some interest, and in those very same gorgeous ways as well, because wealth is only energy. It really is just subatomic particles. Humanity has created it to be something evil, terrifying, scary, something to worry about, something to complain about, something to be stressed out about. But it's really none of those things. It is simply subatomic particles. And when I speak to you about energy and consciousness, many times I can hear your brains wanting more information. I think that's lovely. You want more information. I also want to preface, though, when it comes to talking about energy, it's actually very, very simple. It's not complicated. It's not like the processing and analyzing that your brain does. So when you want to move subatomic particles consciously, because you're moving them all the time, you're in a relationship with everything. Like I'm in a relationship with the painting behind me and the flowers next to me and the chair next to me. I'm relating to them. And if you want to have a happy and successful relationship with everything, because everything is energy, including your wealth, how you relate to it matters. So when you open up your wallet, how you respond to how many dollars are in there or what kind of cards are in there is actually affecting how much more wealth you pull into your life. Like I love flowers. And I know this is a simple concept, but I want you to know that intuition, awareness, and consciousness is simple. It's less complicated than analyzing and processing. Using your brain to do something that it was actually not created to do is a waste of energy. And you're not going to get the solutions that you want. So I love flowers, love them. And I know you might be thinking, well, Marie, that's easy. Of course, why don't you love flowers? I mean, of course, everybody loves flowers. So I have flowers all the time, all over my life, everywhere I go, in my garden, outside, people bring me flowers. I mean, I just have flowers everywhere. And that's because I have a really great relationship with flowers. What if you had that same relationship with wealth? What if you felt love every time you looked in your wallet, every time you put your password onto your online banking accounts, every time you looked at investments, even when you're looking at debt? What if you looked at it from a place of love and deliciousness versus how much interest have I paid over these last few years, or whatever your reaction might be that's the opposite of love? If you can allow yourself to have loving feelings like I do for flowers, and I'm sure you have something in your life you just love and it proliferates gorgeous in your life, it's always there for you. Maybe sometimes you think you have too many, like right now I'm watering a lot of flowers in Washington State while we have a warm summer. But that's evidence of your connection and your relationship to whatever it is that you have abundance of it in your life. And you can have this same relationship with wealth, but you need to be mindful. You need to catch yourself if you start to worry or go into stress or be disappointed. Disappointment is an energy, right? Your particle mass, when you feel disappointed, especially if you're looking at like a student loan, or if you want to pay off your house and you look at your loan, or you want to buy a house and you're looking at your bank account and you are disappointed that there's not enough money in there, you are perpetuating, you are lengthening the time it's going to take for you to buy a house, to retire if you want to pay off your home before you do, to pay off your student loans. You're going to have to change your vibration before you interact with these things that are also subatomic particles. Your mind's eye and your logical mind doesn't view them as subatomic particles, but the truth is everything in the universe, and the Earth itself is in the universe. Everything is subatomic particles. No matter what your eyes tell you, no matter what beliefs you may have, everything is actually subatomic particles. So how you feel when you engage with these particles affects the way they come into your life. In fact, for all of you who do have student loans and you want to pay them off, and maybe our government will, anything's possible, maybe we could actually help that to change if everyone who has a student loan starts to look at that number with joy, starts to feel, you don't even have to feel gratitude for the actual loan, although that is a blessing. You know, education unfortunately turned very expensive in the United States. And for people who wanted to pursue intellectual learning, thankfully, there were loans that you could attend those universities or colleges or trade schools and get something of value for yourself. But if you have a hard time looking at, you know, the balance of your student loan and how much interest you paid and how much interest you're paying right now, you're going to prolong your ability to pay this off. In fact, you're going to push away the government's ability to come in and just wipe out and bring a zero balance to significant student loans throughout the country. What if you trained yourself? Because how you relate to energy, if you're not relating in a positive way to wealth or love or health or whatnot, which means anything that's a problem in your life, it's because you're not relating to it in a healthy, fun, happy way. That's all it means, literally. What if you took, like everyone who's listening who has a student loan, what if you decided to practice what I'm expressing right now and do it as a test? I love doing little experiments to see if they work. And once you do an experiment, like an energy experiment, and it works, one of the things that you do convince is your logical mind. You convince your logical mind might go, okay, that's weird. I don't know what happened to the student loan, but we did that little thing that Marie said, and we don't have one anymore. It might say that, and it may not be completely convinced, but if you do it a couple more times on some other topic, your logical mind is going to be convinced. And when your logical mind is convinced that you have the power to consciously move subatomic particles, which you do because you're moving them subconsciously, you're not conscious of the fact that staring at a debt is act in a negative way and with fear and disappointment is actually prolonging the debt, and it's not allowing you to have the financial freedom that you want. Once your logical mind goes, hey, we did that weird thing. Now we've done it twice. We've done it 3 times and it works every single time. In the future, what will happen is when another situation comes into your life, if it does, that you don't want, you will immediately start to look at it as energy, and you will begin to think of it in a positive way. Now, if you can't look at a debt in a positive way, I want you to, as I've said before on another video about wealth, I want you to think of something else that makes you feel happy every time you look at that piece of paper or that online account. I want you to train your mind to either feel gratitude or appreciation for the resources that you use to go to university, or for the car that you bought, or the home, or whatever it is, wherever the debt is. And so that's one. Or 2, if you can't do that, because some people literally can't, which I think is something you have to work on. There's beauty in everything, absolutely everything. But if you can't, and that's okay, then you need to train your brain to think of something that does bring you beautiful joy. It doesn't have to be flowers, like mine is. One of my things is flowers. I also love subatomic particles. I've read multiple books on quantum physics, even though I really don't understand the mathematical aspect of it, but I love anything that teaches me more about the movement of particles. So I know there are things in your life that you love, or things that historically you have loved, like maybe the first time you fell in love, or the first international vacation you took, or the first time you held a baby, whether it's yours or someone else's, the first time you brought a dog home, or the first time you played with kittens. There is something in your history that will, if you think about it, trigger your energy to move in high frequency. And when you trigger your energy to be in high frequency, which means your subatomic particles start to rise and expand and start to feel in alignment with something that we interpret as joy. And then you're interacting with your debt then joyful things will occur regarding these resources that have blessed your life and allowed you to do things that perhaps you wouldn't have been able to do without the loan. And then it will disappear. The debt will disappear. So why doesn't everybody try that? Try it for like a month, at least a month. Sometimes it takes longer, depending on how much resistance we have and how many negative beliefs we have. But you will have, at the very least, many positive outcomes because of it. So give it a try. Let me know what happens. And perhaps collectively, if we're all working on loving debt, loving loans in a positive way, we can get things to change here in the United States where nobody has to pay for college, because I don't think they should. And then we can have people have more options about what they might want to study or learn. Wouldn't that be fun? Have a beautiful day. Bye-bye.